We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
This Turning Point conference, the were in the front of out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and the cigar.
I think it's important that every single person that attended that Turning Point, every Republican speak up against these stickers, against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit.
He's going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
Joe Rogan didn't just respond. He roared into the spotlight.
Rogan didn't just respond. He blew up the spotlight. The moment Charlie Kirk dropped that jaw-dropping $100 million lawsuit on The View, Rogan stepped in and set the internet on fire. This wasn't some petty talk show drama. This was war. Joe Rogan unleashed verbal nukes that hit like bombs on live TV. Kirk's lawsuit? Not a bluff. A warning shot. A challenge. A full-on showdown. Charlie Kirk, head of Turning Point USA, had finally snapped. After The View host casually threw wild accusations about his student event, he didn't just get mad, he went legal. We're talking 5,000 students, some as young as 16, dragged into a public firestorm by hosts who didn't care who got burned as long as they got their applause. And that's exactly why Joe Rogan erupted with laughter and fury. Charlie Kirk's
and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So, Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there, of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country, that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to...
Because to him, it was all so fake, so shallow, and so blatantly unfair to young people who just wanted to be heard. Rogan didn't hold back. He slammed The View as a clown car of daytime drama, tossing insults like candy, until someone finally fought back. And here's the kicker. Charlie Kirk wasn't just asking for an apology, he wanted $100 million. That's not a slap on the wrist. That's a sledgehammer to the face. And Joe Rogan, he couldn't resist sinking his teeth into it. With that signature smirk and cutting sarcasm, he shredded The View's hypocrisy like a lion tearing paper. He mocked their sudden silence the second the legal letter landed. Funny, Rogan said. They're so loud until someone threatens to empty their bank accounts. Then he roasted their so-called apology, a short, awkward statement he called as fake as a soap opera wedding. They weren't sorry they said it, Rogan laughed. They were sorry they got caught. That line went viral in hours, racking up millions of views. Defenders tried to jump in, but their usual talking points fell flat. This wasn't politics. It was about integrity. Rogan reminded everyone why his platform is so powerful. He doesn't just react, he exposes the ugly truths hiding under polished media smiles. He even roasted Whoopi Goldberg's bizarre take on presidential power. She literally said Biden could just throw all Republicans in jail. Rogan's eyes went wide. What planet are they living on? Clips of Whoopi's rant went everywhere, and Rogan's reaction made it even bigger.
So, I mean, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin's
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person, and what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there.
Some laughed, others cringed, but no one could look away. Then came Rogan's brutal roast of Sunny Hostin. He called out how she looked down on Americans without college degrees, elitist nonsense wrapped in fake compassion. "You don't need a degree to have common sense," Rogan shouted. "Some of the smartest people I've met never set foot in a university." And just like that, the conversation shifted. Suddenly, it wasn't just about a lawsuit. It was about the View's pattern of silencing, shaming, and steamrolling anyone who disagrees. Rogan didn't stop there. He slammed the show for talking over conservative women and then playing the victim, earning cheers from viewers across the political spectrum. That's why this moment wasn't just viral, it was volcanic. The lawsuit, the fake apology, and Rogan's ruthless takedown sparked a media firestorm like nothing else. As headlines exploded nationwide, Rogan kept throwing punches, calm, calculated, and cutting. No script, no teleprompter, just the truth, hitting like a hammer. He shook his head at clips from The View, wagging fingers like moral police until a legal reality check hit, then panic. The podcast legend laughed at how fast their tone flipped after the cease and desist landed. "They love to throw labels," Rogan said. "But the second someone says courtroom and damages, they start stuttering like they forgot their lines." This wasn't a minor slip-up, it was a national embarrassment, and Joe Rogan held up the mirror for everyone to see the cracks.
Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
Let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail. Welcome back. In Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me, and it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people, which I did. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
He joked that watching The View backpedal was like watching a raccoon try to escape a spotlight. Chaotic, clumsy, and completely unbelievable. And the internet loved it. Social media exploded with memes, reactions, and Rogan's savage one-liners. Hashtags like hashtag #YouSueTheView and hashtag Rogan Roast trended for days. Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk stood his ground. Half-hearted apologies or soft corrections weren't enough. He wanted accountability, and Rogan backed him every step of the way. They dragged 16-year-olds into a public smear campaign. Rogan snapped. "You don't fix that with a 5-second apology." He tore into the media for spinning it as a misunderstanding. This wasn't confusion. It was character assassination dressed as commentary. Rogan called out the pattern. The View targets conservatives, then acts shocked when pushback comes. He compared the show to a daytime echo chamber where opposing ideas are shouted down, edited out, or mocked into silence. And remember what they did to Meghan McCain? They invited her just to humiliate her week after week, Rogan said. The show has a long history of mistreating dissenting voices, and now they finally picked a fight with someone who could fight back. The lawsuit wasn't just about Charlie Kirk, it was about every guest they silenced, every student misrepresented, and every lie they let slide for ratings. Rogan called it the reckoning daytime TV never saw coming. People across the country started asking, "Is this the beginning of the end for The View?" Rogan didn't hold back. He called some host performers in a circus of self-righteousness, pretending to care while cashing big checks and dodging the truth. As his commentary went viral, clips of Whoopi and Sunny reacting to the lawsuit circulated everywhere, and they didn't look strong.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her, and they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's just it's a bizarre show.
Their eyes say it all, Rogan said. They know they crossed a line this time, and now they're terrified of what comes next. And the most shocking part? There was no pushback, no fiery response, no Twitter rebuttal, just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. For a show built on bold voices and louder opinions, The View suddenly looked like it had lost its voice. Rogan picked up on that fear instantly. You can tell when someone's faking confidence, he said. Their words are loud, but their body language is screaming regret. Fans were stunned. Some said they'd never seen The View this rattle before. Even longtime viewers began asking, had the hosts gone too far this time? Rogan, with his trademark sarcasm, didn't let up. It's like watching a courtroom version of reality TV, he joked. Except this drama had real consequences. Headlines screamed $100 million lawsuit. Every time The View tried to spin the story, Rogan clapped back harder. This isn't about politics, he said. It's about decency. And they forgot how to spell that a long time ago. People who once brushed off the chatter were now glued to the scandal, lawsuit documents, Rogan's commentary, and public backlash, creating a media firestorm. At the center stood Charlie Kirk, calm and calculated, while Rogan kept the spotlight burning hot on every contradiction and excuse the hosts tried to sell. The contrast was brutal. On one side, a legal team ready to shred lies. On the other, a talk show patching holes in a sinking ship.
Megan, I get it. I also hate Joy Behar. So I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird. So I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show? If the CIA is engineering, Antifa and fucking the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome?
No, double
X.
Okay. Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's rough.
Just let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything. Yeah. You know what Joe Biden could do since he is president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
It wasn't just criticism, it was comedic devastation. And it worked because people realized this wasn't exaggeration. This was complete detachment from reality. As the clip spread, reaction videos, podcasts, and commentary blew up across platforms, and Rogan's takedown stole the spotlight. Journalists started asking, has The View finally met its match? Could a lawsuit and a podcast host shake one of America's most famous talk shows to its core? Even media outlets that usually stayed quiet joined in. Everyone wanted to know, how did it get so bad that The View might have to settle in court just to survive? Rogan doubled down in a follow-up podcast. They want to play victim now, he said. Where was that sensitivity when they dragged teenagers into a culture war? These weren't public figures. High schoolers and college kids were being targeted just for showing up. Rogan called it shameful. You don't go after kids to make a political point and pretend it's journalism. The impact was huge. Parents, educators, even non-political viewers saw the story in a new light. When a host tried to clarify, she only stumbled and fumbled, feeding Rogan's next episode. They're spinning in circles now, he laughed. You can't walk this back with vague words and nervous stutters. It's too late. Viewers who had never watched The View were hooked. Rogan reminded everyone, targeting people for political beliefs isn't entertainment, it's manipulation. He mocked their selective outrage. One day moral outrage, the next day my bad. Then back to business as usual. That's not journalism, it's emotional bait. Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk's legal team quietly ramped up preparations. Discovery was coming, and insiders hinted emails, memos, and meeting notes were about to surface.
The
culture shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stopped looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions, whether it's war, suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, whatever it is, that used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right, and now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing, and I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side, and if it's our side that's saying this, for sure that's the right thing to do, and no one's critically thinking about this.
Joe Rogan is the gateway drug for young men that thought they were Democrats to become MAGA. Joe Rogan is the bridge, and on that bridge they'll see RFK.
The View was shaken to its core. This lawsuit wasn't just public, it was personal, it had teeth, and it was about to bite hard. Rogan grinned as he imagined what could happen next. Depositions, sworn testimony, secrets revealed under oath. The thought alone sent chills through the studio world. This wasn't another gossip storm. It was a turning point in mainstream TV accountability. Social media erupted. Late-night hosts carefully avoided the topic, fearing their own legal landmines. Rogan, unafraid. I don't hide behind cue cards and corporate scripts. I say what's real, even if it stings. And sting it did. Viewers began calling The View a relic, out of touch, out of ideas, dangerously close to being out of time. Some demanded resignations, others a full reboot. Rogan's mockery wasn't just a roast. It was a reality check wrapped in razor-sharp wit. And the more they ignored him, the louder his message echoed. He exposed the pattern. Insult first, apologize later, and act surprised when someone fights back. But this time, the force came with a legal bill attached. The lawsuit sent a chilling message across media: smear people without proof and pay the price. Rogan called it a new era of accountability, and millions agreed. ABC's legal team scrambled, but no jargon could undo the damage. The View's brand wasn't bruised, it was bleeding, and Rogan kept the spotlight on that wound. In the end, the lawsuit and the roast combined into a massive cultural reckoning. A political firestorm turned media circus, and everyone was watching. The message was clear. Think twice before throwing careless accusations on live TV, because Joe Rogan and Charlie Kirk made it very expensive to lie.